Before Denise walks you through the essentials of choosing courses and preparing for first year, I wanted to provide some context to the academic experience that you've embarked on here at Innis College within the Faculty of Arts and Science at the University of Toronto. We understand that you've come to this university to learn and to apply your learning, and whether you know exactly what it is that you plan to study or whether you simply know that you want to learn more and see where it takes you in life, we want you to know that you have joined a supportive academic community and that we are here to help you succeed. This was the slide for what I just said. The green is Innis. The light blue is Arts and Science, and the dark blue is U of T. So, you chose U of T as the university where you will pursue this academic experience, and now you are the newest members of a large, diverse, and exciting academic community of learning and of research. It's a very large physical space, as you've already heard. This physical space is 35 city blocks in the downtown core, and that doesn't include the two satellite campuses, University of Toronto in Mississauga and University of Toronto in Scarborough, 33 kilometers west and east of the downtown core. We're just a few students shy this year of 100,000 students at this university. There's 3,500 faculty and instructors. There's 44 libraries that contain over a petabyte of electronic holdings. And this university also has its own hospital system, the University of Health Network, which is the largest health system in Canada. So yes, it's a large physical space. It's also a very expansive living space. And this is a living space where fundamental values of equity, diversity, and inclusion are important to us. It's also a space and a place where we make a point of applying lessons about accessibility and about Indigenous reconciliation to our daily work. Most immediate example of this at the university, of this place being a living community that values these fundamental principles, is the fact that before you even sign up for courses at this university, all of our new students will be filling out a demographic data collection survey called the U of T Student Equity Census. It started 3 years ago, and this is an initiative that helps the university identify and understand the diversity of the student population that we serve. Students are going to find the census without any difficulty on ACORN. And ACORN is the online student information system where you're going to enroll in courses, track your fees, and manage your University of Toronto information. Most of you already know what ACORN is, but speaking of online spaces like ACORN, and also speaking about large and living communities, perhaps our largest community, living community, is the online community at this university. So it's helpful for you to know from the get-go that every student who's admitted to the University of Toronto gets a UT Mail account to perform their academic work and the university-related activities that you'll hear about today and in the months ahead online. You get an email with a 100 gig mail inbox. You get access to online and desktop versions of the most recent Microsoft Office suite, and you get a terabyte of OneDrive file storage. It's a huge university that offers you a lot online. But because this university has to be as concerned with security as you can imagine it would be, the university has enhanced protections for this Microsoft Office suite, so you will also all be using UTOR MFA, which is the University of Toronto's multi-factor authentication to access your information. And for those of you in the room who may be interested, the university has also just started about 6 months ago to offer every student, as well as faculty and staff, but every student is offered 6 years of a 1Password Families account at no cost. If that is of interest to you, you can look up more of this online. Anyway, that's some of the basics, real basics, about what the University of Toronto has to offer. And you're going to learn more today and in the years ahead, and you'll discover that this university has something unique to offer you specifically. And it does have a lot of appeal. One particular appeal of the University of Toronto is the Faculty of Arts and Science, which is your academic home within the University of Toronto. It's the faculty that you chose to join, and it's a faculty that comes with the distinction of being the largest faculty within the University of Toronto and also the largest faculty of arts and science in Canada. How large is it? It's made up of 29 departments, 7 colleges, 45 interdisciplinary units like schools and institutes, Together, all these units offer over 4,500 courses a year in over 400 academic programs, and we offer all this to over 31,000 students. What you need to know is that arts and science has breadth and scope that is unparalleled anywhere in Canada. And if this faculty seems a lot to you right now, it is. But also choices abound in this thriving academic community, and students can sometimes choose between traditional and new approaches to the exact same topic or subject matter, and there are all sorts of novel research opportunities that cut across disciplines. What I'm trying to get across is that this size is a strength at the University of Toronto. Another strength of this university and this faculty is that you have an academic home right here at Innis, within the Faculty of Arts and Science at the University of Toronto. And by joining Innis, you've joined one of the 7 colleges. You know this because you selected Innis from 6 other colleges. And every student belongs to a college in the Faculty of Arts and Science. You've chosen one of the 2 smallest colleges. Trinity is the other smaller one. We will have about 525 new students this year, and we'll have a total population at Innis of about 2,250. That is out of the total that you recall from my last slide of 31,000 students. Students will take courses from everywhere within the Faculty of Arts and Science, and the faculty is spread across the entire 35-city block downtown campus. But some students will take courses right here at Innis if they are choosing to take courses in the Writing and Rhetoric program or the Cinema Studies program, 2 programs that we contribute to the full complement of 400+ programs in the Faculty of Arts and Science. Most of you in the room today have come from close rather than far, and so most of you are from Ontario, though we welcome anyone who's come further, so yay. But we will have students from all over the world joining us this year. And as of today, I can report, well, yesterday when this was done, I can report that a little over half of our 525 new students this year will be made up of the combination of Canadian students and permanent residents. And a little under half will be international students who will be studying with us on study permit. Also, out of interest, of the Canadian citizens and permanent residents, most are from Ontario, but we also have students from across every Canadian province and territory, and at this point we expect to welcome students from 43 countries. And you see some of them listed here with the number of students represented from those countries. So I've just projected 3 slides with numbers on them, and Innis is not normally described in terms of numbers. So let me just remind you again, we are one of the smallest colleges. We like to think of ourselves as a neighborhood within the Faculty of Arts and Science. We're an informal home for you for the next handful of years, where you're going to get a chance to meet upper year students and faculty and professors and student life staff and academic support staff. And as you've heard already, you are going to make friends that you will have for a lifetime. I feel like now would be a really good time to just take a minute, because you're also going to meet students who are also first-year students. Why don't you just take a minute to introduce yourself to 2 people in the room beside you, who just tell them what your name is and just say hi. Okay, and now we have this show-stopping picture. So this picture is very current. It was taken on Monday at Convocation, and it didn't appear in the slides until this morning, which is why people who work here are all staring at it to see how we look. Yeah, that's us. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, it is a place that concentrates on one-to-one connections and individualized attention and service, and it is a hallmark of the Registrar's Office. Today, the 6 of us are all working together to focus a bit of learning on course selection and course enrollment by sharing some fundamentals with you, which is what Denise is about to do, by pointing out some strategies for choosing courses and programs, for pointing you in the direction of helpful online resources, and also demystifying some of those acronyms and abbreviations that by the end of today, you too, like the rest of us, will completely take for granted. But most of our work outside of today is carried out one-to-one with students in the Registrar's Office. Whether it's ironing out some academic or financial administrative details, or helping you adjust to new learning styles, or you juggling personal and work priorities with academic commitments, or just wondering what it is that you want to do, your Registrar's Office is a reliable first stop for information and for advice. We make it our mission to provide accurate information and sound advising on academic matters and also on those related to personal, financial, general wellness issues in an atmosphere of trust, confidentiality, and comfort. Among Denise, Claudia, Daniela, and Dryden, we see nearly half of the student population each year in one-to-one scheduled appointments. Then if you add Jack, well, Jack is the first point of contact for most students, as I already said, and in addition to helping students who drop into the office and who call us, Jack answers about 10,000 email every 12-month period. We are custodians of a lot of information about registration and enrollment, fees and funding, rules and regulations, petitions and appeals, the undergraduate experience, from the time you come in until the time you graduate. We want you to know that we take our accountability to students seriously, and that whether it's by phone or email or in person, when a student comes to us with questions, we help you connect to answers, reflect on options, project solutions, and create opportunities for you to excel. We can also connect you directly with additional help. And a lot of that help is, as you've already heard this morning, right here at Innis College. So I will name, for instance, the 5 academic supports here at Innis, which are the Writing Center, the Learning Strategist, the Librarian, the Career Educator, and the Accessibility Advisor, all of whom are here today, except I think for our Career Educator, and we'll be meeting with the parents and supporters who stay in the room after this session, but you'll also see at lunch. In addition to the supports at Innis, there are also supports in arts and science, and you've all been signed up for the Arrive Ready program, which is organized through Arts and Science. Arts and Science also offers the Sydney Smith Commons, which offers recognized study groups, which is something that takes place in your classes. Arrive Ready, which I've already talked about. You can check out the other things that Arts and Science offers, but Arts and Science also offers supports for students. And while there are many, many supports that U of T offers, I did just want to point out these 2. The university TELUS Health Support System is a 24-hour immediate support around the world by phone in 35 languages, and also by chat in simplified Chinese, English, French, and Spanish. And there's also ongoing help. And there's also an online tool called Navi, which is your U of T resource finder. And as Jason has already pointed out, there is all sorts of learning that takes place beyond the classroom, and the university experience of Innis is definitely more than just the academic experience, and you will hear more from the student life team about such things as helping students with their personal development, peer advising, alumni mentoring, and leadership opportunities. I'm on to the last chunk of my presentation. This last bit of context before Denise dives into the essentials is an explanation of what the goal is of the degree that you're pursuing here in the Faculty of Arts and Science at the University of Toronto. It's a bird's eye view, but I just wanted to spend a few minutes explaining to you that a prime objective of your honors bachelor's degree is the development of 4 skills. One is the development of depth of knowledge. In other words, it's critical understanding or intellectual rigor that comes by pursuing study in 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 areas of study. So it develops from first year through to upper year courses. So as you move through the program, you build a depth of knowledge. You also, and it is a second objective of every university graduating students' undergraduate degree, that they achieve competencies in learning and in applying that learning. These competencies are, of course, developed as you move through from first year through to your upper year courses, and they're developed as you're developing that depth of knowledge. But there's 5 competencies. They are critical and creative thinking, communication, information literacy, quantitative reasoning, and social and ethical responsibility. It is the aim for all students to develop these 5 competencies as they're learning in an area of study. But there's also breadth of knowledge to the degree that you're about to pursue. And the objective here is that you develop an understanding of the richness of the arts, the complexity of global cultures, and about an understanding of the varied structures and processes and concepts of the social and natural world. This all comes together in the 4th objective, which is to integrate all these skills and all this knowledge. And the integration usually takes place in upper level 4th year capstone work. So it's that applied learning that takes place in an upper year course that allows you to sort of do substantial investigation, synthesize knowledge, and actually communicate the results of your own inquiry. The first one is the example I'm talking about, a capstone course, which is usually in a 4th year course in a program. You take this capstone course. It can also be called an independent study course. But I also want to point out with this slide that there's inquiry-based activities, experiential learning, throughout the undergraduate degree, and it doesn't all take place in the upper year or in your final year. And so I've listed here for you to just sort of glance at some of the options. But if you take a look at the lower right, when it's the Arts and Science Internship Program, and this provides 12 to 20 months of paid work experience to students, largely from computer science, but also from 17 other departments in the Faculty of Arts and Science. So it's something that you can keep an eye on, because you can start with the professional development courses that are part of this ASIP program in your 2nd year. And once you focus on a department, you will learn more about whether it is one of the 17 departments that offer this and if this is something you want. But another word about experiential learning is that this experiential learning doesn't just take place within academic, within courses. There's experiential learning that abounds throughout your degree. So it could be a part of the course, but it could also be extracurricular, it could be paid, it could be unpaid. It could be considered experience that prepares you for work or that makes you more community-minded. It could be on campus, it could be anywhere around the world. So I did just want to point that out to you and add one more thing about experiential learning, and that is whether it's related to your academic curriculum or your extracurricular life, it can deepen your understanding of course content and perhaps focus your direction for life beyond your undergraduate years. Your experiential learning really is governed largely by your interest and drive to get an opportunity. In closing, I can tell you that there are some experiential learning opportunities here at Innis College. And to describe just one that you may already have come across, Ask a Student is the first and longest running student-to-student forum at the University of Toronto, answering questions for all students and prospective students since 1999. It's been hosted all this time by the Innis Registrar's Office, and it's run by a long string of really remarkable students who have helped us and helped us help students. What have they gone on to do with this experiential learning? Well, one of them has become a lawyer, one's a data analyst, 2 have become senior federal administrators, 3 work in film and production, 4 of them are writers and journalists, and 4 of them are in positions here at the University of Toronto, including in one case, here at Innis, our Innis College Communications Director, whose work in the background of much of what you are seeing today, including my slides, is his. Thank you, and Denise.